Hello, everyone, and welcome to Homeland Security Today's recognition of the 30th anniversary of the deadliest act of domestic terrorism in the United States, the Oklahoma City bombing. My name is Kristina Tanasichuk. I'm the executive editor of Homeland Security Today, and we are very happy to have joining us Daryl Hernandez, who is the head of the ISC, the Interagency Security Committee at CISA at the Department of U.S. Homeland Security. We're very proud to see him here, not only because of his important work protecting federal facilities across the United States, but also because he is one of our mission award winners. And last year was also recognized as a trailblazer for his work in helping facilities across the United States protect themselves against this and every other kind of threat. So welcome, Daryl.
Thank you, Kristina. It's great to be here with you.
Thank you. And it's a solemn day. It was a very tragic day that killed 167 U.S. citizens. And we were we're always very upset and horrified to see that kind of violence against our own people. And so the ISC's mission and how you've evolved over time to protect our facility has been really integral to making sure that our court systems, our federal buildings are safe for both the workers and the people that are going to do business there. So this month, the Oklahoma City National Memorial and Museum was unveiled in memory of this bombing. And I know that you all were pretty integral in that development as well. So I'd love to hear more about what ISC did to help us remember this important day.
Thanks, Kristina. So the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum are great partners of ours. We've had a close relationship over the years. Carrie Watkins is the CEO, and her team are just fantastic. For those who've not been to the Memorial Museum, it is chronological. Kind of starts with the pathway to violence, the attack, the response, the recovery, the investigation, and sort of at the end of the memorial, or sort of exhibits associated with resilience. What good has come out of this tragic event. About 2 years ago, so we had the 30th anniversary of the bombing coming up on our radar, and the 30th anniversary of the Interagency Security Committee as a result of that bombing. We started talking with Carrie and her team about ways that we might incorporate an exhibit at the end of the museum that would capture the significant work and the significant progress that's been made in mitigating and preventing and preparing for a similar type of attack. So they developed the exhibit. It's titled "Are We Safer Today?" And what it really aims to do is educate the public about significant changes in security and protection that have come about as a result of the Oklahoma City bombing, not just for federal facilities, but also the things that are being done by the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency and other government agencies to help protect critical infrastructure and things in their communities themselves. The exhibit uses artificial intelligence. So there's like 4 avatars that serve as virtual security experts. And then the patrons can come and they can ask the avatars any question they want. And they will give them an answer. So we were very excited to partner with the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum to develop that exhibit.
That's terrific. So it's interactive.
It absolutely is 100% interactive. And, when the Memorial and Museum is just a fantastically run venue. It is meant to be interactive. It is meant to be educational. In Carrie's own words, we've got an entire generation of folks who don't remember what it was like when you walk straight to the airplane and you didn't go through magnetometers and folks who don't don't know that these types of security features haven't always been there. Whether it's a sports venue or an airport or any other critical area that that they don't know what life was like prior to this bombing and prior to many of the security and protection strides that we've made over the years.
Absolutely. Well, we talk here at HSToday a lot about how there are numerous generations now coming up that do not remember 9/11, that were not, and so Oklahoma City happened even before that. So these types of security programs and security concerns were really based on actual events. And so it's important to remember what we need to do to not only remember, but remain vigilant. So I wanted to ask the exhibit, what does it really aim to communicate to the public? So what messages do you think are important that the museum shares?
I think it communicates that the scope and scale of the work that's been done to protect facilities, American communities, and that even though all that work's been done, there's more work to do. So I think the answer to the question it asks, "Are we safer today?" is yes, we are safer today, but there's more work to be done.
Well, and that continues to be quite a challenge. As you all do a good job, we don't see an attack like this, and therefore it doesn't seem as critical. But that prevention piece and that piece that you really manage over the federal facilities is very critical. Can you speak to just a few of the ISC resources that you've come out with even in the last couple of years? Because you do a tremendous job, and I think people forget that CISA, Critical Infrastructure Protection, is both digital and physical security. And I remember being an InfraGard president and constantly hammering that absolutely cyber is super important, but you still have people running a truck into a building. And so we have to prepare for both.
Yeah, and I think that that's really a great context for, the work of the committee over the years, right? So it has evolved from, simply being focused on physical security and traditional threats to being a partner with and considering the broader environment that we do security in, right? So the cyber environment, emerging threats, the importance of emergency management and preparedness, the importance of continuity in terms of resilience. And so what you can really see in the work of the committee 30 years later is a more holistic and comprehensive approach to security and protection. And so to just underscore some of that, the committee has developed and published not only comprehensive security standards for federal facilities, but it's looked at drones and how those entities without any kind of counter drone authorities can protect themselves. It's looked at the people threat. Last year, we published a best practice on managing risks associated with adverse or involuntary separation. So, looking at the people risks, cyber, and especially in terms of how it affects some of our building automated control systems, physical access control systems, things of that nature. So really I think the canvas and the work of the committee is greater today than it ever has been. It touches multiple types of security and security domains, everything from our traditional physical security to the personnel security piece. And then not only does it do we continue to look at and reassess how we mitigate traditional threats, but we have those emerging threats that we have to be prepared for as well.
Well, and you all cover that extremely well, and we will provide some links to the work that you've done. We did interview Dr. Mussington when he was head of critical infrastructure, and he's since joined us as a strategic advisor and editorial board member at HSToday. So we were happy to have him join us. But you have done so many things to help communities prepare their own facilities. And so we'll definitely provide links to that. But besides that, what would be your best advice for maybe a small facility that's looking to make sure that this kind of thing does not happen in their town?
I mean, all as you mentioned, we have a number of resources, and those resources are generally available, on our public-facing website to folks that are not in the federal facility, business, right? So any critical infrastructure, any facility, any community can access those resources and they can employ them. And I think the thing that if somebody was saying, well, what's the one thing I can do, look at the resources that are out there that are available. CISA produces resources for houses of worship, for schools. I mean, there are a number of areas that would be specific to any one individual. And then the other thing is to be risk-based, right? What are the risks that are most concerning to you? Because nobody has unlimited resources, so we've got to prioritize as things that are really going to make a difference, and we only do that by being risk-based and then focusing on the site-specific conditions for that facility or asset.
Absolutely. Well, on this 30th anniversary of the Oklahoma City bombing, we send our prayers to the survivors, and we pray that nothing like this will ever happen again. We want to thank you for your time talking about this with us and urge everyone watching this that if you're in Oklahoma City, to stop by and take a moment to visit the Oklahoma City National Memorial Museum and their new exhibit. Is there a time period when this exhibit will end, or is it a permanent exhibit?
It's going to be there for a while, so it'll certainly be there a year from now and a year from that.
Excellent. Well, I hope that everyone has an opportunity to take a look and do their part in securing the country. So I thank you for your time, Daryl. It's always great to talk with you, and your team does such a tremendous job protecting U.S. facilities. Thank you for your work.
Thank you, Kristina. Great talking to you again.